The Lord rained down burning sulfur over the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, destroying their cities, their people, and everything around them, right down to the vegetation of the land. And while you can argue that the story is just a story, new archaeological evidence shows that not only may the cities have actually existed, we may also now know the truth about how they disappeared.
For thousands of years, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah has been told in homes, churches, and synagogues. A story of unimaginable sin, divine judgment, and God's mercy. But for many, it has remained a mystery. Were these cities real? Where exactly were they located? And what truly happened there? Now, after decades of searching, archaeologists believe they may have uncovered one of these ancient cities, and what they found is nothing short of terrifying. Evidence that seems to match the biblical account in remarkable ways. The cities of sin, the book of Genesis tells us that Sodom and Gomorrah were once located in the lush and fertile plain of the Jordan, almost like the garden of the Lord. But despite the beauty of the land, the people were steeped in corruption, violence, and immorality. The culture itself had become toxic, celebrating sin openly. God in his justice prepared judgment. Yet before that judgment, he offered mercy, Abraham's plea. Abraham pleaded with God to spare the city if even a small number of righteous people could be found there. From 50 down to just 10, he asked again and again. And God promised that for the sake of 10, he would not destroy it. But even that small number could not be found. 2 angels visited Lot, Abraham's nephew, and urged him to flee with his family. They hesitated. But destruction was near. Fire from heaven. Genesis 19 describes what happened next. Then the Lord rained down fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah from out of the heavens. The destruction was sudden and complete. The fertile land was scorched, the cities obliterated, and the once thriving region became barren. Lot and his 2 daughters escaped, but his wife looked back and was turned into a pillar of salt. This story became a sobering reminder of God's justice and mercy. Yet for thousands of years, the exact location of these cities remained uncertain. Some believed they were buried under the Dead Sea. Others thought they were hidden beneath desert sands. The searched generations of scholars and explorers searched for clues. And finally, a site known as el-Hammam, in the Jordan Valley northeast of the Dead Sea, began attracting attention. Excavations revealed the ruins of a massive Bronze Age city that was suddenly destroyed around 1650 BC. The city had huge walls, fortified gates, and was clearly a major center of trade. But then something catastrophic happened. A city destroyed in an instant. Archaeologists found layers of ash and pottery melted by extreme heat, far beyond anything humans could produce at that time. Mud bricks were turned to glass. Buildings were blown apart. The evidence pointed to a massive high-heat blast, similar to a meteor exploding in the atmosphere. The intense heat and shockwave would have instantly destroyed everything in its path. It sounds eerily similar to the Bible's description of fire raining from heaven. Human toll and aftermath. Among the ruins, archaeologists discovered human remains, bones shattered and scattered by the force of the explosion. Many were buried in ash and debris. The farmland around the city was also devastated. Layers of salt covered the soil, making farming impossible for centuries. This detail directly mirrors the Bible's account of the land becoming desolate, and even recalls the fate of Lot's wife, who was turned into a pillar of salt. A warning through time. If el-Hammam is indeed ancient Sodom, then its discovery is more than archaeology. It is a warning. The Apostle Peter wrote in the New Testament, God condemned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah to ashes, making them an example for those who would live ungodly lives thereafter. The ruins remind us that God is patient and merciful, but he is also holy and just. Sin is not ignored forever. Faith and evidence together. Some think faith and science are enemies, but discoveries like this show they can walk side by side. Archaeology doesn't replace the Bible. It provides physical evidence that supports it. The fiery destruction, the high heat damage, the salt deposits, and the centuries of desolation all align with the biblical record. Whether or not scholars agree to call it Sodom The similarities are too striking to dismiss. The call to remember Jesus himself compared the last days to the time of Lot, the day Lot left Sodom. Fire and brimstone rained down from heaven and destroyed them all. It will be just like this on the day the Son of Man is revealed. The story of Sodom is not just about the past. It is about the future, a reminder that God's patience will one day end, and his judgment will come again. Lessons from the ashes, the ruins of Sodom whisper through the centuries. God is patient, but he is also just. He offers mercy, but he will not allow evil to reign forever. And just as Lot was urged not to look back, we too are called to leave behind sin and turn toward the salvation God offers. Perhaps this is the greatest truth of all. Even in judgment, God still calls people to safety, if only they will listen. So the next time you hear the name Sodom, remember, it is not just a story in a book. It is a warning written in stone, ash, and salt, and now uncovered for the whole world to see. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to True Signal for more discoveries and biblical mysteries. God bless you.